Hi everyone, I'm Bridget, I'm from New York, and I'm learning Russian. I'm going to be doing this video all in English today, так что если вы говорите только по-русски, простите, но это видео будет только по-английски. So, if you don't know me, I make videos in Russian to practice my Russian. I'm nowhere near fluent. I would consider myself lower intermediate level at Russian. A lot of people ask me all the time, how are you learning Russian? So I'm just going to go through some of the things that I personally use. I'm going to put links below for everything, so if there's something I'm talking about, you can find it in the description of the video. Some of these things you have to pay for, some of them you don't, but I think for all of the ones that you do have to pay for, I'm pretty sure they do trial runs that are totally free. First off, if you're genuinely just starting Russian and you're worried about Cyrillic, please do not be. Honestly, you spend 2 days on it. Even my boyfriend learned it, and he's not even good at languages, as he says. We went to Russia together, he could read all the signs. Like, he didn't know what he was saying, but he could read them. I don't know what level you are in Russian and whatnot, but like, if you're just starting out and you don't know the cases, I would take a class, because you're gonna want someone to be able to drill it into your head. You're gonna want someone who can correct you immediately, so you learn it the right way the first time. I know that goes without saying, and not everyone has access to a class, but what it all is going to boil down to is surround yourself with Russian and talk to Russian speakers. And these next things I'm going to talk about is just some of the examples of the way that I do that.
Let us begin.
Let's start with the app called HELLOTALK. HELLOTALK is an app to communicate with native speakers, but it is so much more than just chatting. So you search for people in whatever demographic you want, from whatever native language you want. So I'm gonna search someone around my age, someone from Russia who's fluent in Russian. And the amazing thing about this app is that there are so many different things you can do with this chat. So I can write something in Russian and she can write something in Russian, and maybe she says something back that I just don't understand. If you're at the beginning level learning Cyrillic and everything, you can actually transliterate in this app. So you can hold your finger down and hit transliterate, and you'll see how it gets pronounced. Oh, and the best thing, okay, there's so many best things about this app. You can actually have it get read to you by, it's like Google Translate almost, but this is all within the app. It gets read to you, it can get translated for you. You can actually save things to your own personal storage of like things you want to remember. So it's like favorited texts or sentences so that you can study on your own. Like, you decide what you want to study. You can do voice messages, calls, writing, drawing pictures. You can correct people's texts. They will correct it on their end, so then you'd get a text back that shows you the error you made and the correct way to say it. It is amazing, and it's real-time practice, which is something like you're actually having conversations with native speakers. My other favorite thing about it is, maybe other girls can identify with this, but this app does not allow you to enlarge profile photos. So what that means is, if someone goes to my profile, you're gonna see my image like really minuscule, and they might want to click it to see what I look like, and they can't. Which means it's gonna cut down on all the riffraff of people writing to being like, oh, beautiful girl. Like, they can't even see what you look like, which is awesome, because it's just a language learning app. Like, we're here to learn, guys. So the next thing that I recommend a lot to people is called Interpals. Interpals.net. I'm putting the link below. Interpals is something that I've used for years and years and years, quite sporadically, so I will do it for a while and then I won't be on for months and then I'll go back. But it's essentially Facebook for language learners. You can specify whether you're looking for friendship, for snail mail pen pals, which is awesome, and I've done that. If you're comfortable enough with someone, if you've talked to them for long enough and you really truly trust who they say they are and you trust them, you can exchange some sort of personal information where you might send each other little trinkets from that country. It's an amazing resource. You just want to be careful to, block and avoid all of the spam messages you're going to get, especially if you're a girl. But as a user, it's pretty easy to weed out the genuine, amazing people on this website from like spam and people looking to like hit on girls. Just ignore those. Next up is my personal favorite. The company is called Innovative Language, and they have something called Russian Pod 101. They have an app. I think you can also listen to their stuff on their website, but I just use the app. They have podcasts where you hear conversations in Russian that are spoken at normal speed and slowed down, then said with the translations, and then it's broken down into vocab and grammar. And there are hundreds of these lessons in all different topics, all different levels. The sheer wealth of knowledge in each lesson, I'm telling you, like, if you download lessons, because you can actually download them, because I take the subway every day, and in the mornings I'll download like 3 lessons, and I will try to at least do one on the way to work. When you're listening to the podcast, you can actually follow along on the lesson notes, and it actually groups it together. Like, you see all the vocab and the definitions and the part of the sentence that it is, and the grammar and cultural tidbits about Russia. It's amazing, honestly. Like, there is so much information that I genuinely believe it's worth the price. I don't remember the exact price right now, but I know that I'm pretty sure that you can actually go onto their site, the link will be below, and do a free trial run to see if you actually like the setup. I work from 10 in the morning until 7 at night, and I don't get home until 8, and then I'm exhausted and I don't want to learn Russian, but I want to know Russian. These things are like 12 minutes, 13 minutes long. You can do one a day. I mean, you can fit one in. I genuinely love this company. Like, I've asked to work with them. Like, it came from me asking them, hi guys, I like your company, can I be part of you? Another website I've tried is called LINGUALIFT. I don't know if you've heard of it. What I do like about LINGUALIFT is that it's very fast. Like, it's meant for people who don't have a lot of time on their hands. Each lesson, it goes by really quickly. So, like, if you have 5 minutes, let's say 10 minutes. If you have 10 minutes one night, you can get through a lesson and then be like, okay, I did a Russian lesson. Each lesson is broken down into different parts, and my favorite thing about this is that the last part is always something to do with Russian popular culture, so I'm learning like Russian memes. I think that if you're a busy person, you might want to check this website out. There's a link below. You do have to pay for it, but I'm pretty sure they do a free trial run, so you should always do the free trial run before signing up for anything. Now I'm going to talk just in general life things that I do. I like to watch a lot of Russian YouTube videos, Russian vloggers, video bloggers, whatever. I honestly have very few like favorite YouTubers. I look at the suggested videos and I'll just keep clicking, seeing what I can understand. I don't even care what it is. I just like watching it to get used to hearing the language, seeing what people are up to over there in Russia. It's great practice, even if you're not understanding it. Like, honestly, the more Russian you're hearing, the better you're gonna be just in general. I might hear a word get spoken so many times that like I sound it out and find out what it means. Another thing I do is reread old Russian textbooks from university that, I mean, I've already gone through them, but I have forgotten a good 70% of what I've learned. Other things I do are listen to Russian music. I mean, on Spotify, it'll start recommending songs to you based on other Russian songs, and I mean, through that I found awesome music. I try to find on Netflix or on Hulu or on Amazon just any Russian movies you would watch in Russian, have the English subtitles. Another thing I do, if you don't already know me, is I make my own Russian videos. My Russian videos are genuinely the most Russian practice I get. In them I sound like I'm fluent, but it's because before saying everything I'm saying, I have put it together a rough draft, gone through it, tried to correct all the case mistakes, of which I made millions. I even sometimes have native Russians helping to correct my Russian, and even then, I will still make mistakes. But the best thing is Russians will watch these videos and will correct me. And will write to me on Vkontakte. If you don't know Vkontakte, that's like the Russian Facebook. It's how I've gotten so good at sight reading Russian is because people write to me all the time. You could easily get a Vkontakte page and just write to people. Russians are so warm and welcoming and encouraging. People are so happy to help me when they see that you're excited about something, when they see you're excited about their language, their culture, they get excited to help you. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to show your enthusiasm for this language, because it's an amazing, amazing, amazing language. Oh, another thing, if you can, go to Russia. If you're American, you can get like a 3-year tourist visa. So if you can afford it and you can plan out a nice itinerary for yourself, a safe itinerary for yourself, I recommend just going. not everyone speaks English, so you're going to be forced to use the language, which is awesome, honestly. If you can find like a language school in any city in Russia, you should definitely try to go to it, because that's going to be full immersion. Like, that's what I've always wanted, is to do like a homestay where the family speaks Russian only. I still have moments where I like throw my pen down and I think, what am I doing? This isn't working. I don't understand this language. It's like an exclusive club that only the biggest country in the world was invited to. We're all in this together. This insane, difficult mess of beautiful, intricate language. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, I totally feel your pain, but you need to stick with it. Talk to native speakers. Don't be afraid to ask questions to real Russians. Practice every day. Listen to Russian music. Use these apps. Use Duolingo. Memorize literally anything you can. There's no right or wrong answer. There are plenty of people learning this language. There are groups and meetups. Go to meetup.com for Russian speakers in whatever city you're in. If you can't find a meetup, start your own. See if anyone bites. There are tons and tons of people who are offering Skype lessons. There are people who are willing to do Skype exchanges with you where you can teach them English and they can teach you Russian. Spend like 30 minutes talking in English, 30 minutes talking in Russian. Anyway, I hope this was at least a little bit helpful. Maybe it gave you some ideas. Maybe it encouraged you. Like, you can watch my Russian videos. If I can get to lower intermediate or whatever I am, I'm probably like advanced beginner, honestly. If I can get to this level, so can you. But yeah, in the comments below, let me know what you do. I mean, maybe you can help me, honestly. Like, if you guys use something that I haven't heard of or that you think is amazing, please tell me, because I'm still learning. It's hard working a full-time job and learning such a difficult language. So let me know how you learn Russian, what your thoughts are on the language. Feel free to subscribe to my channel. My videos are usually, 99% of the time in Russian. I usually try to do English subtitles. Most of my videos have English subtitles, not all of them. So thanks so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, put them below and I'll answer. I'm also on Instagram if you want to find me. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.